Hey, you're riding with Tony again, our video blog, and we'll be talking about the idea of suffering. Sort of had a plausible concept of suffering, I guess you could say. All of us have had to suffer for some reason or some way. The thought come to me today because my back is killing me. But suffering, there's a verse in Scripture that says that the present sufferings of this world are not worthy to be compared to the glory which shall be revealed in us. That's Apostle Paul in Acts chapter 8 tells us that what we suffer here is nothing compared to over there. And no doubt in my mind that's quite true. Nothing that we have to face here is anything compared to what we can have and we're privileged to know over there. So, but in some ways that doesn't necessarily help how we suffer now. I guess in some ways it does too, because we realize it's not going to last forever. It's not for always. There's going to come a time of relief and we'll overcome. But while you're suffering, it doesn't always seem so pleasant. And I guess suffering accomplishes a few things. Scripturally, suffering sometimes is there to teach us, to help us to understand things, to make us grow. Job suffered so that we might know that it's not always because of our sin that we suffer. Sometimes we suffer because God is trying to teach a lesson to someone, whether it be ourselves or somebody else. Jesus said that the man that was born blind was not born blind because of his sin, which obviously he could have sinned before he was born, or his parents' sin, but that the glory of God could be manifested. So, suffering has a positive side effect, if you will. Sometimes it don't feel that way, but we can have confidence that the suffering that we suffer now will not be what we suffer later. We may go through some kind of problems in this day and time, later different problems, but there will come a time when there will be no more suffering. I think that may be our greatest hope after all, knowing that God has a place of comfort and peace for us that only He can provide, that will be so much more than what we suffer here. God bless you, Tony Vance.